Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
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 Rama,
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare.
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna.
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare Krishna. Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Jai
Krishna,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Hare
Prabhu
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare
Nityananda
Ram, Ram
Shri
Ram, Hare
Advaita
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Gadadhara Sivasadi
Hare
Gaura
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Bhaktivinoda.
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Ram Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram Ram,
Rama
Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare.
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna.
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Rama,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Rama,
Ram Hare Hare
Rama
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram Hare Ram
Rama
Ram Ram
Rama,
Hare Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama, Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram Hare
Ram,
Ram Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Ram Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Rama,
Hare Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare Krishna
Ram, Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Ram
Rama,
Ram Ram Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram Ram Ram
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Rama, Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram
Krishna, Hare Rama, Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram 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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Rama, Ram,
Hare Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Rama,
Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Ram 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 Ram
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Hare, Hare Rama,
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Rama,
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Rama,
Ram 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 Hare
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram Ram,
Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram.
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram.
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram.
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Ram Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hope everybody had a good Ram Navami. So, okay. So we are on verse number 18, chapter Canto 7, the science of God, and verse Canto 7, chapter 7, what Prahlad learned in the womb, and we are on verse number 18. Janmadya sad Janmadya षडेम इमे भाव दृष्टदेहस्य नात्मनः फलानामिव वृक्षस्य कालेनेश्वरमूर्तिना. Just as the fruits and flowers of a tree, in due course of time, undergo six changes: birth, existence, growth, transformation, dwindling, and then death. The material body, which is obtained by the spirit soul, under different circumstances, undergoes similar changes. However, there are no such changes for the spirit soul. So, everything in this world undergoes six changes. It is born, then it grows, it stays for some time, produces some byproducts like children, then it starts dwindling, and finally it vanishes. These are the six changes. Every material body undergoes six changes, but the spirit soul is eternal. So spirit soul is the truth, material body is coming and going. It is not the truth, it is temporary. Like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying that that which pervades the entire body is the soul, and it is indestructible. What is the verse in the Bhagavad Gita in the second chapter? Krishna says,
9.
no, that which pervades the body is eternal.
Nasato vidyate bhava.
After that which pervades the entire body, avinashi tu tadviddi. This is the verse I was thinking. Avinashi tu tadviddi, yena sarvamidam tatam. Vinasham avyaya avyaya syasya na kasyat kartum arhati. And then he says, in verse number 18, Antavanta ime deha nitya shokta sharirina anashino prameyasya tasmad yudhyasva bharata. The material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, the eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. Therefore fight, O descendant of Bharat. Yeah. So after saying what is truth and what is not truth, Krishna speaks these two verses. He says what is truth? That which na sato vidyate bhava, na bhava vidyate sataha. So what is truth is that which does not change. And what is changing and which does not last is not the truth. Then he speaks the two verses describing how the soul is unchangeable and the body is perishable. So this is all like a dream. Our identification with the body is like a dream. It's like in a drama. In a drama, we are playing our part. There's a nice book by Prabhupada's. I mean, it has been. It's called In Essence. So it says our daily lives are like a drama at the theater. We assume the role of protagonist, and others take on the part of our parents, friends, lovers, and foes. But are we when we are off stage? But who are we when we are off stage? And when the curtain falls and death comes, what becomes of us and everyone else who had roles in our theatrical play? So it is like a play. So it says Shakespeare was right when he said, all the world's a stage. The world's a stage on which we must serve the desires of others and seek to fulfill our own. Like any drama, our lives are divided into scenes. So we have Balakanda and this and that, and Yuddhakanda, and like so. Our lives are divided in childhood and maybe youth and then adulthood and then old person. So, like any drama, our lives are divided. Like we have intermission. So, before intermission and then after intermission, like that. So, any drama, our lives are divided into scenes. And how we choose to play each scene shapes our destiny, all our future scenes. Each scene also contains life lesson taught through the action reaction. So, this is all a drama we are playing, right? I am the son of such and such, I am the mother of such and such, I am the husband of such and such. But it's like on the stage you are performing, but really who you are spirit soul. And in dramas, in many different dramas we have been, like one actor can act in so many dramas, one actor can act in so many movies. So we have acted in so many different dramas. Sometimes in a cat body, sometimes and in human body also, with different people. The story is slightly different in each drama. Means every life something is different, right? The events don't happen in the same way. Right? Sometimes we died early in the drama. Sometimes we lived longer. So we are all playing in a drama. But off the stage, we are spirit soul and we are part and parcel of Krishna. So we are wearing different costumes. Right? We are wearing different costumes according to the drama. We are getting a male costume, we are getting a female costume, we are getting a cat costume, elephant costume, like So that is what is the basic understanding of, if you understand these basic things, and I'm just moving from one body to the next. I'm changing my dresses. So this is Prabhupada is emphasizing on this point, purport. This is a very important verse in understanding the difference between the spiritual soul and the material body. The soul is eternal as stated in Bhagavad Gita 2.20. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. For the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. Means we are always there. He is unborn, eternal. There is no birthday for the soul. So birthday is ignorance because we are misidentifying ourselves with the body, and we are thinking this is when I was born. But no, you existed as the soul always, and you will never die also. So no, there is no death anniversary or anything like that because nobody dies really. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, undying, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. The spirit soul is eternal, being freed from waste and change, which take place because of the material body. The example of a tree and its fruit and flowers is very simple and clear. A tree stands for many, many years, but with the seasonal changes, its fruits and flowers undergo 6 transformations. Like yesterday, we went to New Vrindavan. Right? We saw all the trees. There were no leaves on it. All were like just like wood. No leaves, nothing. No flowers, nothing. And then now summer will come, and then everything will be like green, and then there'll be so much greenery like that. So, and then again winter will come. Then it'll go away. So, so in our life, we are going. You could say spring season, like when everything is flowering, is like the youth. Then old age comes, it's like the winter season. Sometimes they depict the changes of season with our life. So the example of tree and its fruits and flowers is very simple and clear. A tree stands for many, many years, but with seasonal changes, its fruits and flowers undergo 6 transformations. The foolish theory of modern chemists that life can be produced by chemical interactions cannot be accepted as truth. The birth of a human being's material body takes place due to a mixture of the ovum and semen. But the history of birth is that although the ovum and semen mix together after sex, there is not always pregnancy. Yeah, many people try to conceive, but they cannot conceive. So they have to do IVF and all this. And that also may work, may not work. Right? So until the soul enters, there is no pregnancy. So soul is different from the ovum and the semen. Soul is coming from, it is not that ovum and semen's mixture is producing the soul. Soul is different. The soul is just entering into that secretion based on the karma of that person, is entering into a certain family like that. So, so they were saying actually when you get married, you are getting married to your karmas, right? Like what is your who you are going to be. It is who you are going to live with and all these things. It's all your karma. So unless the soul enters the mixture, there is no possibility of pregnancy. But when the soul takes shelter of the mixture, the body takes birth, exists, grows, transforms, and dwindles. So, because of the presence of the soul, the body is growing in the womb of the mother, and all the organs develop and like that. And ultimately, it is vanquished. The fruits and flowers of a tree seasonally come and go, but the tree continues to stand. Similarly, the transmigrating soul accepts various bodies which undergo 6 transformations. But the soul remains permanently the same. Ajo nitya sashvatoyam purano nahanyate hanyamane sharire. So our mind and all these things can change. Right? They are only, external. Like we have our outer garments and we have undergarments. Right? So similarly, the outer garment is the body, and then inner garment is the mind. And as we change our outer and inner garments, right? So we are not the mind. So this is the question: isn't mind part of the soul? No, the mind is not the soul. This is compiled from all Prabhupada's classes. This book. Mind is not the soul, but an instrument through which the soul acts. The mind is rejecting and accepting according to the dictations of the soul. Although I walk with my legs, I do not consider myself to be my legs. Although I think with my mind, I am not my mind. Some philosophers identify the mind with the self, and this is a mistake. Intelligence is subtler than the mind, and the mind is subtler than the senses. The gross senses cannot be seen, but the center of the senses, the mind, cannot be seen. Therefore, it is called subtle. The mind is guided by the intelligence, which is even subtler. The background of the intelligence of that intelligence is the soul. The mind is the instrument by which we think, but that instrument is not I. So we are not the body, but we are not also the. So there are many questions like this in this book. Then they say, "Oh, I see plenty of people who aren't spiritual. How do you explain that?" Because the fire of knowledge is not burning in our minds, we accept material existence as happiness. A dog or hog cannot understand what kind of miserable life he is passing. He actually thinks that he is enjoying life, and this is called the covering or illusive influence of material energy. We may be in miserable condition, but we accept it, thinking that we are very happy. This is called ignorance. But when one is awakened to knowledge, he thinks, "Oh, I am not happy. I want freedom, but there is no freedom. I don't want to die, but there is death. I don't want to grow old, but there is old age. I don't want diseases, but there are diseases." These are the major problems of human existence. But we ignore them and concentrate on solving very minor problems. We consider economic development to be the most important thing, forgetting how long we shall live here in this material world. Economic development or no economic development, at the end of 60 or 100 years of our life, will be finished. Even if we accumulate $1 million, we must leave it all behind when we leave this body. We need to come to understand that in the material world, whatever we are doing is being defeated by the influence of material nature. So this is all compiled from Prabhupada's lectures. So the people say, "Oh, what if I'm satisfied with my standard of happiness? I'm satisfied." Sometimes people say, "No, no, I'm already happy." Yeah. So that is also addressed by Prabhupada. Then some people say, "Isn't this a bleak, pessimistic view of the world that you are talking about birth, death, old age? So how should we use our intelligence?" So it's a nice book, very basic but very powerful. Okay, so
For the beginners,
yes,
like for Westerners also.
yes. And whenever I read the book, I also find very I've read other scriptures also, but it's like this is on. If you understand the basics very deeply, then so many things in your life will completely change. Yeah, if you really realize the basics of spiritual life, then for me, I'm saying, yeah, you all have already realized. So sometimes
No, I
it
mean
it,
for
it, it reinforces my yeah, I'm just here. Like it creates a sense of kind of gives a feeling of that I'm just moving through, and whatever I'm doing now, I should do properly because my next life is going to be dependent on this, whatever I'm doing now, and I have a next life. So the time is now, right? Whatever we want to do is now, because we all are going to die. So at some point the life will end. So whatever you want to do, good things in life, do it, because you don't know tomorrow you may live and then it may be too late. So good things means, of course, we say Krishna consciousness. So yeah, go ahead. So wanted to say something.
No, I mean, for us, Prabhupada's every purport is like that. But I was saying for the Westerners, uh,
Yeah,
reading Bhagavad Gita for them, like the first verse, somebody said, I couldn't go past the first verse.
yes,
Dhritarashtra, I could not pronounce Dhritarashtra. What is that? So, I mean, for the Westerner, Science of Self-Realization, these types of books are
yes, correct.
good to start with.
Yeah, Science of Self. This is a nice book actually to distribute to anybody who wants to like get a very good idea. So, so all these questions are answered in this. And it is all from Prabhupada's lectures. Answers are all from Prabhupada's lectures. So, so we can also learn how Prabhupada used to preach. So how can I find true love? Everybody wants to find. So, so the basic principle of living condition is that we have a general propensity to love someone. No one can live without loving someone else. This propensity is present in every living being. Even an animal like a tiger has this loving propensity, at least in a dormant stage, and it is certainly present in the human beings. The missing point, however, is where to repose our love so that everyone can become happy. At the present moment, the human society teaches one to love his country or family or his personal self. But there is no information where to repose the loving propensity so that everyone can become happy. That missing point is Krishna. In the primary stage, a child loves his parents, then his brothers and sisters, and as he daily grows up, he begins to love his family, society, community, country, nation, or even the whole human society. But the loving propensity is not satisfied. Even by loving all human society, that loving propensity remains imperfectly fulfilled until we know who is the Supreme Beloved. Our love can be fully satisfied only when it is reposed in Krishna. But what about loving my spouse? Can't we find love in the relationships we have in this world? Krishna is related to everyone as Eternal Father, and consequently, when we establish a Krishna conscious relationship, we become related to everyone. When one marries, he automatically establishes a relationship with the spouse family. Similarly, if we re-establish our original relationship with Krishna, we'll establish our true relationship with everyone else. That is the ground for real universal love. Universal love is artificial and cannot endure unless we establish our relationship with the center. One is American if he is born in America, and thus other Americans become members of his family. But if he is born elsewhere, he has no relationship with Americans. On the mundane platform, all relationships are relative. Our relationship with Krishna, however, is eternal and not subject to time and circumstances. Unfortunately, we have forgotten that Krishna, God, is all pervading. This memory has to be revived. As soon as we revive our Krishna consciousness, we can see everything in relationship with Krishna. And then everything becomes lovable. Now I love you or you love me, but that love is on the platform of this ephemeral body. But when love of Krishna is developed, I will love not only you but every living entity, because the outward designation, the body, will be forgotten. When a person becomes fully Krishna conscious, he does not think, here is a man, here is an animal, here is a cat, here is a dog, here is a worm. He sees everyone as part and parcel of Krishna. This is very nicely explained in Bhagavad Gita. One who actually is learned in Krishna consciousness becomes a lover of everyone in the universe. So, okay. Okay, so we'll finish. The soul is eternal and ever existing, but the bodies accepted by the soul are changing. There are two kinds of soul: the supreme soul, the personality of God, and the individual soul, the living entity. As various bodily changes take place in the individual soul, different millenniums of creation take place in the supreme Lord, supreme soul. In this regard, Madhvacharya says, okay, Since the body is the external feature of the soul is not dependent on the body. Rather, the body is dependent on the soul. Like body will start decaying. If the soul is absent, if you keep a dead body, then what will happen? It will start decomposing. So decaying, right? So because of the soul, the body is like maintained, not vice versa. That soul maintains the body, but not the body maintains the soul. Or soul's existence does not depend on the body, but body's existence depends on the soul. One who understands this truth should not be very much anxious about the maintenance of his body. There is no possibility of maintaining the body permanently or eternally. No matter how much yoga you do, how much exercise you do, you can't keep this body forever. So that's what Prabhupada is saying. That doesn't mean we don't take care of the body, but yeah, no matter, everybody has to pass away. So that is, you cannot maintain the body permanently or eternally. Antavanta ime deha nitya shokta sharirina. That's the verse we read. This is a statement of Bhagavad Gita 2.18. The material body is antavat, perishable, but the soul within the body is eternal. Nitya shokta sharirina. Lord Vishnu and the individual souls who are part and parcel of him are both eternal. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetnanam. Katha Upanishad. Lord Vishnu is the chief living being, whereas the individual living entities are parts of Lord Vishnu. All the various grades of bodies, from the gigantic universal body to the small body of an ant, are perishable. But the super soul and the soul, being equal in quality, both exist eternally. This is further explained in the next verses. Okay, so Krishna is eternal, and we is part and parcel of Krishna. We are also eternal. We never actually die. So, and what is the nature of the soul? The soul is Satchidananda Vigraha. It is full of bliss, knowledge, and it is spiritual in nature. The soul is spiritual in nature. We were discussing the other day at Shani's place, right? Vasudev was explaining what is the soul like. The soul is a spiritual, it's a conscious being. It is not, it is energy, but it is not like some mechanical energy or nuclear energy. There are so many chemical energy. It's not that kind of, it's spiritual energy which is conscious, and that's why we have desires, right? We have feelings, we have emotions. So the soul is a conscious spiritual entity which is eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. And when the soul goes back home to the spiritual world, where we actually is our home, then it assumes its original form as a cowherd boy, gopa, or a gopi, or a cow. So we have our every jiva has their own identity in the spiritual world. How they serve, how they relate with Krishna, in what kind of love, Vatsalya love, Madhurya love, Sakhya love. So that is what is the nature of the soul. And that soul gets covered by the material body in this world. So the propensity is still there, right? To love, as Prabhupada was saying in that we just read. The propensity to love is still there because that is inherent. It's an inherent characteristic of the soul is to love somebody. Right? So, and Prabhupada was telling how even tigers, they love their children, right? That propensity to love is there in every living entity. So that propensity to love, when directed towards the Supreme, then you love everybody. Because everybody is like me, spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna. Just because of our karma, somebody has got a body of a cat or a dog. So he sees the spirit soul in everyone, every living entity. Yeah, they are just like me. Somebody is driving an expensive car, somebody is driving a not such an expensive car because they don't have enough money. But do we hate the person because they are not driving an expensive car? No. Everybody, all the living entities are part and parcel of Krishna. So, so a devotee, that's why he loves everyone. Suridas Sarvadehina, because he loves Krishna, and everybody is part and parcel of Krishna, and Krishna loves everybody, all the living entities. So the devotee loves all the living entities. And we say hate the disease, not the diseased, right? So, yeah. So inherently, everybody is spirit, soul, and Sachidananda Vigraha. Okay, wherever there is life, yeah, it is sacred because there is part of Krishna. It's part of Krishna in that life. That life is soul is part and parcel of Krishna. Okay, so we are sample Krishna, so it's sacred, right? Soul is sacred, part of Krishna. Okay, part of God. Yeah.
We say the soul is Sat Chit Anand, but because the soul associates with the body, it becomes a Sat, a Chit, Niranand. So when the body is suffering from disease, the soul feeling pain, because they say that this, like, the time of death, why the soul leaves the body is because there's so much pain in the body that it cannot sustain.
Yeah.
It leaves.
In one
But
sense,
here
the soul's nature is not changed because the soul is, but because the soul's consciousness is directed in a, like we say, asango hi ayam purusha. So, yeah, because we are in material consciousness, the soul has forgotten. It's it's like you are a rich person, but you have forgotten that you are a rich person. Right? You don't know. So actually, every soul is like Satchidananda. But if you have forgotten, and that is what is causing it. So if you again remember, right? If you again know, then you come back to your original situation. So we have to just remove the forgetfulness. Actually, we are Satchidananda, but we have forgotten our identity, right? Who we are, and we have, that is why we are experiencing all these things. But yeah,
So,
again, come back to, go ahead.
yeah, one question I had just listening to this. So, body is the tool basically, from which the soul can experience, plain pleasures, whatever the other experiences are. So, if he doesn't have a body, then how does he experience all this?
If it doesn't, in the spiritual world, they don't have a material body. They are experiencing a lot of
Yeah, but
emotions.
there, yeah,
spiritual
but there's a
senses.
spiritual body, right? Yeah.
The soul has spiritual senses. Yeah, correct.
Mhm.
So
Then why would he take up a body if he has the spiritual senses to experience all this?
that we know why soul comes into this material world. And you know why soul comes into material world
No,
because
means he would have come. No, no. We know that, and but uh, you know, so the body is taken to experience all this, satisfy desires, like pain and pleasure and all that. But then, as Mataji said, it has spiritual senses. So, why does he need to take up a body to experience all this? Then, if he has the spiritual
because to
senses, can't he
experience
be or
material pleasure, you need a material body. That's what
material body? Okay, okay.
yeah, material
Hmm.
things, material pleasures, you require material body. If all your material desires become zero, then you don't need a material body.
Okay, yeah,
Then
makes sense.
you go back to the spiritual world and you have spiritual because we have material desires, which are what are material desires? Material desires means all those desires where we forget Krishna, forget our relationship with God, and we act as independently. So those are all those desires. That's why Krishna has given us this kind of situation. How can we say, like, you have, if you want to experiencing something like a 3D movie, right? Then you cannot experience 3D movie unless you wear what?
3D glasses. Mhm.
3D glasses. So, in the same way, you want to experience this independence from Krishna. So, Krishna has given us this material body to experience that kind of, how it will be. And He has created this material
Virtual reality.
virtual reality. Yeah, it is not really. I mean, yeah, you are like you are playing a video game. So you go into the video game, so much absorbed in that video game, and you forget everything around you. So something like that. We have forgotten our identity as the soul, as part and parcel. And we are absorbed in a like virtual reality, like Matrix. I don't know. Some people say this Matrix movie was like that. So, and there in that, when you become absorbed in the movie, then you are like thinking so many things. You cry and so many things. You experience emotions and all these things because you're absorbed in the movie. But outside the movie, there is the actual life. But for the time being, we are in a dream-like state where we are. But we are thinking, we are experiencing, and so it is real, right? When you are dreaming and the tiger is chasing you, you really, really feel it, right? But a person who is awake next to you, there is no tiger. There is no. But as soon as we wake up, oh, there was no tiger, nothing like that. So as soon as you wake up means you realize your spirit soul. You're not nothing. I have nothing to do with this material world. Really speaking, I'm thinking this is my country, this is my family, but I have nothing really to do with all this. It's like waking up. Of course, we can theoretically say, but people who have actually woken up from this, who are actually self-realized, they are in different state of consciousness. So, but we can understand, right, how when a person wakes up, then all this dream, all these things are over. So we are sleeping right now. So we are thinking this is the world and this is my body and this is. When you wake up to your identity as soul and your relationship with Krishna, and all this seems like a dream. It's just a passing phase. Yeah. Okay.
So, like it says, right, the soul is not dependent on the body. I think those who are, become self-realized, and for them, eating also like hunger and thirst, and they don't need uh, to have that for the body to be sustained because their soul is getting
Yeah. I mean,
power
you
from.
can't live forever without eating. Obviously, you have to eat something. How many days you can live without eating? Maybe 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days.
But there are sages who live for long and they have not eaten. So,
There are yogis in the Himalayas. They are
mm.
saying like I don't know. I don't know, but medical science will tell you if you stop eating today, how long will you last before? Because material body needs material food. So it is a material, but the soul, that's the bird in the cage example, right? The soul's food is different, really, and the material body needs material things, right? So it needs to sustain itself.
So, but then we are saying the soul does not need the body. So, what will, okay, so the body will die. Soul, I mean, for that person, he's not feeling that pangs of, because he's soul conscious now, he's not bodily conscious. Like we were discussing about Vasudev leper, right? He's putting the worm back on his body. He's not in the bodily concept. He's not, he's thinking about that worm. Worm needs to eat my body, but somebody asked me this question, right? We usually go to the hospital to cure the disease, but for those who have been liberated from this bodily concept, they don't feel the pain with any disease they face because they are in the soul of Satchitananda. What is happening to their body, whether they're hungry, thirsty, all these feelings also they will not experience, and feeling of pain through
Like they
disease.
said about Prabhupada, right? They said, oh, such a person would be like so much in pain, he's in bones, like that. But so those who are self-realized, of course, they may feel pain, but it is because they're not attached to the body. I, I mean, you have to really become self-realized to understand, actually, to get out of the bodily conception of life. Like Shukdev Goswami was completely out of the bodily conception of life. So when you are on that plane, then you don't really This is all external to the. And I think your dad was from this cage.
Mhm. Yes, so then we were saying about people who are sinful, like a Jamil.
Yeah,
Not every soul will experience that. I mean, yes, every soul is Satchitanand,
yeah,
but what happens at the time of death depends on what type of work, karma that you have done in the life.
correct. But you don't really die. First thing when you realize that I didn't die actually, you left the body. That's how OB and NDs are like out of the body near death experience. They're like, my existence is separate from the body. They sometimes see what is going on, they come back in the body, they can
Mm.
report what all happened. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, and maybe like a person who had cancer, very much pain, when he dies, he's relieved of that material bodily pain and he experiences bliss.
mental distress or so many things one can have. Okay, so we'll go to the next verse. Yes.
See, but the soul in the womb is also experiencing a lot of pain.
Hmm. Yeah,
The,
that is
the
what
soul is praying.
Bhagavatam describes like that. Of course, we don't remember. I mean, nobody remembers right, in the womb how they were experiencing pain. I mean, yeah, we don't remember, but like last life also, we don't remember. So many things we don't remember. But maybe inherently it is there in our subconscious. So we don't want to die and go into another womb, right? Because I have to go into another womb and again be packed up in another womb. So yeah, those subconscious things are there in the mind. So, and they say like the yeah trauma of birth makes you forget all the pain. So it puts you into a forgetfulness state when you have extreme trauma. Of course, the trauma itself is painful, right? So, but it's a blessing. We don't remember. Otherwise, we would all become very. It's a blessing, or it can be a curse also. When you forget the miseries of life, it's a blessing for enjoying this life, right? But it's actually a curse because you don't remember, so now you are again back to the um, original consciousness, right? Material consciousness. If he actually remembered, like Bharat Maharaj, he remembered as a deer how what happened in his past life and how he passed away in what situation and how he goofed up his life. So, if you remember, then it can also act as a blessing. But generally, because of our desire to enjoy, then we forget. Krishna makes us forget. Otherwise, all the deaths we have had and all the situations, all the struggles we have been through, if you remember, through so many lifetimes, we can't live this life. That's why we say PTSD and all that stuff happens. But we don't remember, but Shastra is telling, so we have to believe that what Shastra is saying is true. So, because we have forgotten. Ultimately there has to be some truth beyond this changing thing, right? I mean, everything here is temporary, and 100 years from now none of us will be here. Everything will change. So what is happening in this world? What is going on? Am I just, my existence is going to finish, or am I going to go beyond this body? That's the first thing, right? Is it all over when the body is, and in 100 years where will we be, right? So this is like, if you think, where did this big universe come from? Where will I be in 100 years? So all these things are food for thought, to think about what is the why am I here? What should I be doing? So unless you find answers, we are mostly busy in trying to make, as Prabhupada says, economic condition. We are trying to improve our economic condition, and all our energy is directed in that direction. How to make the situation more comfortable. But if you think of the bigger picture, then you can act properly, right? Because okay, so translation. Read the verse. Atma refers to the Supreme Lord or the living entities. Both of them are spiritual, free from birth and death. Atma can refer to Supreme Lord or living entity. Both of them are spiritual. Sometimes we say Paramatma. But both of them are spiritual, free from birth and death, free from deterioration, and free from material contamination. They are individual. They are the knowers of the external body, and they are the foundation or shelter of everything. They are free from material change. They are self-illuminated. They are the cause of all causes, and they are all pervading. They have nothing to do with the material body, and therefore they are always uncovered. We are saying how soul is. With these transcendental qualities, one who is actually learned must give up the illusory conception of life, in which one thinks, I am this material body, and everything in relation with this body is mine. Okay, so it seems a little bit like they are the cause, right? It says they are the cause of all causes. So ultimately, Krishna, so there is Atma and there is Paramatma. Paramatma is the cause of all causes, and Atma is dependent on the Paramatma. Atma is part and parcel of Paramatma. So there is Supreme Atma and there is Jivatma. So, so sometimes we think that Jivatma is Paramatma. There is nothing like Paramatma. No, but there is a difference. Krishna is saying that you are my part and parcel. So there is God, and there are, just like there is father and there are family members who are dependent on the father. So in the same way, there is amongst all the jivas, Katha Upanishad is saying, we are all jivas. And who is providing the needs of all the jivas? There is a supreme soul who is providing the needs, our needs, of fulfilling our desires. What is that verse? Chet,
Nityo nityanam chetnas chetnanam eko bahunam yomidadati kam.
so one reason we say, why for every urge there is fulfillment of urge. We are thirsty, so there is water. We are hungry, so there is food. Who made this arrangement? We didn't make the arrangement. And how did this universe come about? We didn't create the universe. And how all things are existing in this universe. So that way we can say that there is something besides myself, that is God, that created this whole thing, and we are dependent on God because all the ingredients for our sustenance, everything is provided. Sometimes people say nature, yeah, but nature has intelligence built in it. It is automatically happening. Like mother has milk for the child as soon as the child is born, right? You may say, well, it's designed like that, the body is designed, but who designed it like that? That's the question. Why is it? Then we say, oh, it's natural. It's how nature, as if there was no person who designed it. But it was designed like how by Krishna. So it is like that. And we have nothing to do with it, right? Ask any female. Do they have any control over what's going on in their body and how things are happening? They don't know. Even man body, right? We don't know. Things are just happening. We are eating food and then food is getting digested and getting converted into blood and whatever, and waste product is coming out through the other end. And how is this design working? So can anybody create a human body like that? No. So it is Krishna's intelligence at work. So in this way, everything we see around, we can say, oh, this is Krishna's intelligence. In Bhagavad Gita 15:7, Lord Krishna clearly says, Mame Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta. All the living entities are parts of me. Because intelligence implies intelligent. Intelligence cannot happen without an intelligent. Everything we see around us, the computer, the chair, the table, the fan, the light, everything was designed by some person. It didn't just manufacture automatically, right? Automatically it didn't light. Who is the manufacturer of this light? Somebody is there, some company is there. In that company there were engineers or whatever, laborers. They designed it. So therefore the living entities are qualitatively the same as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the leader, the supreme among all living entities. In the Vedas it is said, Nityo Nityanam Chetnas Chetnanam. The Lord is the chief individual living entity, the leader of the subordinate living entities. So we should acknowledge, I am dependent on God. Because the living entities are parts or samples of God, their qualities are not different from those of the Supreme Lord. So because we wanted to be independent, Krishna has given like a illusion to us. Okay, you can act as if you are independent. That's why the ego means edge God out, right? Edge God out. So because of our ego, we feel I am the controller and I am the thing and I am the one who is doing. But we can't do without necessary ingredients supplied by Krishna. So intelligence also is supplied by Krishna. So that is, but we have been given that somehow that we have been given that false ego. So we can think that I am doing on my own. Everything is there, right? I don't. It is my own. Till you get Alzheimer's, right? If you get Alzheimer, then finished. A big scientist cannot even remember his own name, who he is. So how things are working? I mean, and we are not product of this matter, right? So because the living entities are parts and parcels or samples of God, their qualities are not different from those of the Supreme Lord. The living entities have the same qualities as the Lord, just as a drop of seawater is composed of same chemicals as the great sea itself. So the question is, if Supreme Lord is eternal and I am also eternal, then why I have to go through birth, death, old age, disease? Why I have to change my body? I should be in an eternal situation, right? I should be in an eternal. This is the main thing. You may make so much millions of dollars and you may have so many assets and all, but you can't solve these problems, right? The birth, death, old age, disease, there is no solution. So much technology, so much scientific advancement, but still you have to die. Still you can get diseased. So this is the main thing, that why am I in this situation? So the living entities have the same qualities as the Lord, just as a drop of seawater is composed of the same chemicals as the great sea itself. Thus, there is oneness in quality, but a difference in quantity. One can understand the Supreme Personality of God by understanding the sample, the living entity, because all the qualities of God exist in a minute quantity in the living entities. There is oneness, but God is great, whereas the living entities are extremely small. Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. The living entities are smaller than the atom, but God is greater than the greatest. Our conception of greatness may be represented by the sky, because we think of sky as being unlimitedly big, but God is bigger than the sky. Similarly, we have knowledge that the living entities are smaller than the atoms, being 1/10,000th, the size of tip of a hair. Yet the quality of being the supreme cause of all causes exists in the living entity as well as in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Indeed, it is due to presence of living entity that the body exists and bodily changes take place. So Prabhupada is saying, yet the quality of being the supreme cause exists in the living entity as well as in the supremes, in a minute degree. We can be the cause of so many things in this world, but in a minute degree. We are not the ultimate cause. Like I can be the cause of, creating a company, giving job to so many people and maintaining them, right, by giving them salary. Of course, even with money, you cannot get food. If earth stops producing grains, you may have paper money, but where will the food come from, right? That is also coming by arrangement of God. We didn't create the sun or the air or the water or anything like that. So to think that it is automatically happening is false. It is automatically there. All these things. Sun is there, water is there, air is there, fertile soil is there. All these things, how it is automatically, we cannot say. It is automatically there. Like Newton had a model of the solar system, right? And his friend came and said, "Who made this nice model of the solar system?" He said, "It was automatically there. It's automatically." Then his friend said, "No, tell me who made." And then Newton said, "Well, if you don't believe this model came on its own, then how can you believe this whole universe with all its real solar system? How did it come on its own without any intervention? Somebody must have designed it." So, in this way, he convinced his friend about the presence of a higher power who has intelligence. Indeed, it is due to the presence of the living entity that the body exists and the bodily change takes place. Similarly, it is because the Supreme Lord is within this universe that the changes dictated by the material laws occur. Okay, it's a big purport. Okay. So we have to believe the Shastra. And I mean, otherwise, what is the way of knowing truth? We can speculate so many things. How can we explain so many things? Krishna consciousness explains everything. Why people are born into different situations. What is this? Why we are in this difficulties of struggling situation? What is actually the cause? Without that, we are in ignorance, right? Without the Shastra knowledge, then we don't know all these things. We just know how to make money, and in this world, people have made up, like it is called a humbug civilization. Prabhupada was saying like that. You see, I'll read a little bit. I know we have to stop at 8, but. Humbug civilization in which you manufacture so many cars and this, that. And you don't even know what is the purpose of life. Why am I here? So, it's a foolish civilization, right? So, yeah. Why is it that most people seem to miss this point? Miss this point about Atmagyan and who we are and what is the purpose of life. We have succeeded in creating a humbug civilization. Every year, so many cars are being manufactured, and for that purpose, so many roads have to be excavated, prepared, and repaired. This creates problem after problem. Therefore, it is Maya Sukhaya, illusory happiness. We are trying to manufacture some way to be happy, but we only succeed in creating other problems. The United States has the world's largest number of cars, but that does not solve any problems. We have manufactured cars to help solve the problems of life, but we often experience that this creates other problems. Once we create cars, we must travel 30 or 40 miles just to meet our friends or go to a doctor. We can even go from New York to Boston in less than an hour by plane, but it takes even longer than just that to get to the airport. This situation is called Maya Sukhaya. Maya means false, illusory. We try to create a very comfortable situation, but we only succeed in creating another uncomfortable situation. This is the way of material world. If we are not satisfied by the natural comforts offered by God and nature, we want to create artificial comforts, then we have to create discomfort also. Most people, ignorant of this fact, think that they are creating a very comfortable situation, but in actuality, they end up traveling 50 miles to go to office to earn a livelihood and 50 miles to come back. So then science, hasn't the science improved the world in many ways? Then Prabhupada also tells the story of Punarmashika Bhava. So of course we have to use whatever is there. We cannot, but at the same time, remember, why am I here? Right? They didn't have car. Rupa Goswami didn't have a car, but he made his life perfect. There is something beyond this material things. That's okay. So we'll continue tomorrow with this report. It's a little bit longer. So we'll bookmark it here. So that you can say now whatever else you want to say.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Go ahead.
Prabhuji, I was just thinking if you allow me again, I have this beautiful book I have not been able to read, so I wanted to read with you all. That is called A Garland of Srila Prabhupada's Favorite Preaching Verses from Srimad Bhagavatam by Purna Prajna Das. Yeah, from long time I wanted to read this book, but I think it's just not possible for me to read alone. So I was thinking in this group I can read every day 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So
Okay, go ahead.
okay. So this is the first chapter, the shortcomings of the present age Kali Yuga, that is Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.10. That is the verse. So the book starts like this. The once about 5,000 years ago, sometimes after the disappearance of Lord Krishna, great sages headed by Saunaka Rishi assembled at Naimisharanya to perform an extensive series of sacrifices. One day after finishing their morning duties, including the performance of Agnihotra sacrifices, the sages very respectfully seated Sri Shuta Goswami upon the Vyasasana. While inquiring from him, Saunaka Rishi spoke this verse. प्रयणाल्पयुषा सभ्या कालव अस्मिन् युगे जना मंदः सुमन्दमतयो मंदभाग्य है upadruta. O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men almost always have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. While giving a Bhagavad Gita class in New York on November 22, 1966, Srila Prabhupada explained this verse in detail. Prabhupada, this process under regulative principles is not very easy, especially in this age. A description of the people of this age, Prayena Alpayusha. The duration of life is very short. Prayena Alpayusha Mandaha. Manda means very slow. Out of 24 hours, sleeping 12 hours, and out of those 12 hours, 10 hours out of this sleeping 12, and out of this 12 hours, 10 hours spent being busy, 12 hours being busy earning money. Thus 2 hours remains. What can we do for the spiritual understanding? There is no time. Oh, I think I'll have to. Okay, sorry, Prabhuji, I'll read that.
Okay.
I can share a bhajan, and I have a. I was reading this book, Chronicles of Hanuman, and I'd like to read one pastime. But first, I want to.
Okay, sorry, I'll just little bit read I gave it to my mother-in-law. Thus 2 hours remain. What can he do for spiritual understanding? There is no time. Mandaha Sumanda Mataya. And if somebody has some intention to make spiritual progress, there are so many pseudo spiritualists. So Shumanda Mataya and Manda Bhagya, most of them are unfortunate. If you consider the statistics of the population, most are so unfortunate because they don't have sufficient arrangements for the primary necessities of life: eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. Mandaha Sumando Mataya Mandaha Bhagya and Uptrotuta. In addition to all this, he is always disturbed by diseases and so many other things. This is the position. Therefore, Lord Krishna thought that it is not possible for these people to come to the point of liberation under the regulative process. So, out of his causeless mercy, he came as Lord Chaitanya and distributed this highest perfection of life. The spiritual ecstasy of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is practical. It does not depend upon whether you are liberated or not liberated. Upon your position or your condition, just come and take part in it and you will feel spiritual ecstasy. So there is another lecture I will continue tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. I just wanted to read this much.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so let me paste this in this song. One minute.
Yeah. Continuing with Ram Bhajans. ये जग तपती धूप है इसमें राम का नाम तो छाया है मेरे रोम रोम में मेरे राम का नाम समाया है बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम किसके आगे हाथ पसारूं मैं किससे जाके बात करूं सच तो ये है दिल की बातें क्यों ना तेरे साथ करूं तुझसे मैंने अब तक जो भी मांगा है वो पाया है मेरे रोम रोम में मेरे राम का नाम समाया है बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम मेरी इन दो आँखों में प्रभु राम की झांकी दिखती है लिखने बैठूं कलम हमेशा राम नाम ही लिखती है राम को याद रखा है मैंने बाकी जगत भुलाया है मेरे रोम रोम में मेरे राम का नाम समाया है बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम मेरे इन होठों पे हरदम राम नाम का वास हुआ राम नाम ही भूख है मेरी राम नाम ही प्यास हुआ राम नाम ही जप कर मैंने जीवन का सुख पाया है मेरे रोम रोम भी मेरे राम का नाम समाया है बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम so Lord Ram's name shelters us from all the distresses of this world. ये जग तपती धूप है इसमें. As Vasudev was saying, आदि भौतिक, आदि देविक, आध्यात्मिक miseries, janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi miseries, all sorts of misery. It's a miserable place, dukhalyam. Every step there is danger, but Ram's name is that chaya, that it gives chaya, it gives shelter to us in that very harsh dhoop of this world. Then this devotee is saying that in every part of my body, every pore of my body is filled with Ram's name. Just like how Arjuna, when he was sleeping, every pore of his body was chanting Krishna's name. So when a devotee realizes that I'm dependent on Krishna. Yesterday I was hearing one lecture by Premanand Maharaj. He was saying that who should we be thinking of? What should be the chintan? Who is mine in this world? मेरा कौन है इस दुनिया में जिसके बारे में मैं चिंतन करूं? Of course, all these relationships are temporary, and we think of our family, friends, but these are all temporary relationships. And given a difficulty, will those people be able to help me? Yeah, they may try, but at one point they will be helpless. So who is there actually? Mera kaun hai? Who's mine in this world? Who? Like we say, I, me and mine is false ego concept. This is mine. This is not mine. In one reality, everybody is mine, or you can say nobody is mine. It's the same. Everybody is mine. The whole world is my family. Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Because we are all children of Krishna, like we were reading in the purport. He loves everybody because everybody is child of Krishna, is part and parcel of Krishna. So actually, there is nothing that I can say is mine in this world. So we should not be meditating. Who should we be meditating on? किसके आगे हाथ पसारूं? किससे जाके बात करूं? There's only our eternal relationship with Krishna, and Krishna is there with us. Lord Ram is there with us everywhere, every time, every moment he's available. While we can't say like that for anybody else. तुझसे मैंने अब तक जो भी मांगा है वो पाया है. Actually, Krishna, as we were saying, he's giving us so much without even asking us. Being born to a mother, he's providing the milk. We didn't ask for it. He took care of our necessities. So he's maintaining us at every step. I mean, this body itself, things to eat and be able to digest in this body, get energy, asking the body to wake up in the morning, giving. So everything, every little thing. And when we lose things, like you said, Alzheimer's, somebody loses that ability, then he realizes, oh, I was not even control of that. We think we are controllers. We can't, like, I think one person was telling Radhanath Maharaj, I am God and I will become God. And he had to use a bathroom. Then Radhanath Maharaj closed the bathroom. He says, you can't even control your urination and you're saying that you're God. Like, we can't control anything in our body, our heart, our liver, kidney. How can we say we are controllers? We are totally, every bit of it, we are dependent on Krishna for everything. So somebody who's elevated, meri do he's always seeing Lord Ram everywhere, Lord Krishna or Nrsimha Dev, as Prahlad Maito Nrsimha Parton. All he's seeing Krishna everywhere because he sees everything related to Krishna. This all belongs to Krishna. It's Krishna's property. That's why I'm not the enjoy. Krishna is enjoy. Always remembering Krishna. लिखने बैठो कलम हमेशा राम नाम ही लिखती है. So always remembering Krishna. Thanking Krishna and being grateful to Krishna for every little bit that he has given us. राम नाम को याद रखा है मैंने बाकी जगत भुलाया है. So we need to forget. We need to forget about this in order to remember Krishna. Of course, see it in the right perspective, I would say. Yeah. All we do is we remember this world and we forget Krishna. So seeing the things of this world should remind us of Krishna. It happens oppositely, right? For a spiritualist, like we say, if I see, if I see, or if I hear pastimes, baby pastimes of Krishna, I remember my own baby, right? This is a material consciousness. But if I see a baby in this world, I'll be reminded of Krishna's baby pastimes. That is spiritual consciousness. Everybody, or like somebody seeing a beautiful person, should understand how beautiful Krishna will be, because this beauty of Krishna is being presented as a spark of in this person. That how beautiful Krishna. So seeing the things of this world should remind us of the spiritual world. So मेरे इन होठों पे हरदम राम नाम का वास हुआ. राम नाम ही भूख है मेरी, राम नाम ही प्यास हुआ. For Haridas Thakur, he's always chanting the holy name. He's not feeling hungry or thirsty. His bodily needs, he's above that. He's above the bodily needs. Parikshit Maharaj hearing Bhagavatam, he's not eaten or drunk for 7 days. So they come out of the bodily concept. For those who are more spiritually realized and connected with Krishna, they will not feel hunger or thirst and the normal bodily needs. Okay, so can I share my screen, or you have that Hanuman book if you can? I just want to read one pastime of Hanuman to show that we may be able to do powerful things, but we should never become proud, understanding that all powers are coming from the Lord. The devotee is always humble. So is Hanuman. Chronicles of Hanuman. Okay. Yeah, so if you go to this page 56, what's your real size? Page 56, Vedic tales, or I can share my screen. Let me
Okay.
share my screen. Yeah, okay. So Hanuman has gone to meet Sita Devi in the Lanka and search for Sita Devi. When she finds Sita Devi, this is a conversation that happens between Sita and Hanuman. So, what is your real size? Flying across the ocean is not an easy task. If you have managed it, you surely must be as powerful as Garuda or Vayu. So Sita Devi is telling Hanuman. Sita was appreciating Hanuman for his monumental achievement. Having herself travelled on that path in the Pushpak Viman of Ravan and having seen the vastness of the ocean, she knew it was a formidable mission. Immediately, Hanuman became uncomfortable. The last thing he expected his venerable mother Sita to do was glorify him. Shifting the focus from himself, Hanuman began speaking. Let me assure you, O Divine Mother, in the entire monkey army, there is not even one monkey who is less than me in abilities. All are either equal to me or better than me. Their wisdom is deep, their proficiency in wielding any sort of weapon is marvelous, and their loyalty towards Lord Ram is impeccable. Lord Ram has picked me for this errand of delivering a message to you because he considers me the lowest in the cadre and fit as a messenger. Naturally, no king would want to risk their most competent men for such duties.
But I thought
Sita,
Hanuman was chosen one because Jamba once said, I can only go, but I cannot come back or something.
exactly. I mean, exactly. Hanuman is chosen because he's the most powerful in the army. But this is what
But he is
Hanuman is
presenting himself
replying.
as a very.
Lowest. He's saying that Lord Ram has chosen me because I am the lowest in the army. No king wants to risk his most competent men. So see, this is the humility of Hanuman. Sita was impressed with Hanuman's humility. She said, "Son, I have a doubt. Will you help me understand?" When Hanuman heard the word son from Mother Sita's mouth, he melted with joy. In fact, Hanuman adopted a minuscule form only to inspire motherly affection in her, because he came as a little tiny form, right, towards him.
Yes.
He nodded his head in excitement, and with the tiny form, he was sitting on the tree and he was speaking Hari Katha or Ram Katha. Ram Katha. He was speaking Ram Katha on the tree, the little form. He nodded his head in excitement, eager to render his mother some service. She asked, "I have seen you change sizes. So I'm confused. What is your real size?" Hanuman. So Hanuman became very happy with Mother Sita's inquiry. He humbly explained, "I am always small, but by God's grace I can turn bigger in size when needed. God's power is great, therefore I can grow big by taking shelter in Him. Otherwise, I'm always small." Yeah. So this is, we are always very insignificant. Even Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra was empowered by Krishna to do great things, and he became the hero of Mahabharata. But we see that when he was returning with the queens of Krishna, when Krishna had left, he was quickly overpowered by the coward men, and he was thinking, I have the same Gandiv, I am the same Arjuna, this is the same chariot, but why have I lost all my powers now? So he realized all my powers were coming from Krishna. Sita smiled with appreciation at the deeper meaning of Hanuman's innocent words. He continued speaking in the same humble tone of a messenger. He did not say he would protect Sita. He only declared emphatically, "When I go back to Lord Ram and Lakshman and tell them you are in Lanka, they along with Sugriv and his warriors are sure to rush to Lanka without wasting a moment. Please be patient and be assured that Lord Ram will come and take you back. I only request you to give me something that assures Lord Ram that I actually met the right person in Lanka." So Sita removed a chudamani, her headgear, which she used to wear on her head. While handing it over to Hanuman, she told him to present it to Lord Ram. Seeing this, he will remember three persons. Since the jewel was given to me by my mother in the presence of Lord Ram and his father, said Sita. She also narrated the story of crow named Kakasur, which had attacked her in Chitrakoot, and how Lord Ram had saved her using a blade of grass, transforming it into a Brahmastra. This story wasn't known to anyone in the world except Lord Ram and her. Armed with these two gifts, Hanuman was ready to give her message to his eternal master. Humility is a silent festival that is celebrated alone but appreciated by all. So, uh, celebrated alone means a humble person doesn't want to show off all the things that he is doing. He wants to do it in silence, and he feels satisfied doing that, because when you do things unconditionally, uninterruptedly, only then it will satisfy yourself. So it is celebrated alone. But also, everybody loves a humble person in this world, right? Everybody loves a humble person. So that is there. One another thing that happened was when Hanuman went back when he was running back to Lord Ram to tell that he has found Sita, he was shouting, "Found Sita I, found Sita I." This is not proper grammar, but so I can, if you want to read this, otherwise, if anybody else wants to share. Why was he saying found Sita I? Because I signifies false ego. I did this, I did that. He didn't want to put himself in front. He wanted to first say the word found, found, because he was thinking everybody, because it has been too late, that it has been more than 1 year that they have been out searching for Sita, and they may be losing hope. Ram may be losing hope and ready to die anytime. So he was saying the word found, that I have found. And then see, who did I found? Sita. And if you really want to know who found it, then I would say I. But later I would say, not in the front, because that's I, me, and mine. I did this, I did that. That is false ego. You want to read this? Anybody else wants to read? You can read this section.
Somebody wants to read? You can read that. Who wants to read?
Oh, chal. Who wants to read?
Yeah.
Chalo to. Okay.
Found Sita I. Every other search party had returned with news of failure. They reported how they had searched every nook and cranny of the area they had been assigned, but there was no news of Sita's whereabouts. Disappointed and dejected, they all returned to an even more grief-stricken Ram. Hope seemed to have eluded him. However, one person still did not give up hope, the person whom Lord Rama trusted the most in the monkey army. Just then there was pandemonium. From the southern directions, hordes of monkeys were returning, making a huge racket. Right amidst the army, flying above them, was Hanuman. Lord Rama's eagerness and anxiety intensified on seeing the last phalanx of the monkey army return. He had no idea what news he would hear from them. Pressure mounted, and they were still far away for Lord Rama to know exactly what news they had. Just then, he heard something he couldn't believe. As soon as he heard those words, Lord Rama was convinced that Hanuman was not just intelligent, but sensitive beyond comprehension. He had actually distorted the grammar of the language to give joy to Lord Rama. At the top of his voice, Hanuman shouted, "Found Sita I." As soon as he spotted Lord Rama, Hanuman realized his master must have been in under tremendous pressure without without the knowledge of the outcome of the search operation. Seeing the leaders of all other search parties assembled around Lord Rama, Hanuman knew that his lord was disappointed at their failure. He realized that he had to communicate properly to quell Lord Rama's anxiety. Analyzing the situation, he knew he shouldn't say, "I found Sita."
If he said the word I first, being surrounded by failures, Lord Rama might assume that I is going to be followed by I did not find Sita. Just the thought may cause his instant death. Hanuman also ruled out announcing Sita I found, for even that would make Lord Rama arrive at the wrong conclusion. The only word that would revive Lord Rama's hope and give him the impetus to hold on till Hanuman reached him was found. There was nectar filled in that one word. Though it was grammatically wrong, it was absolutely sensitive. Communication is not about perfection in grammar, but about perfection in the ability to convey what a person wants to hear in a way that is sensitive and pleasing. By distorting grammar, Hanuman had given Lord Rama's morale a boost. As soon as Hanuman and his team were near Lord Rama, they ran up to him and conveyed that they had succeeded in finding Mother Sita in Lanka. Lord Rama inquired about the exact location and asked after Sita's welfare. Hanuman narrated each event in detail. His graphic description included everything that had taken place during his journey to Lanka and also within the island of Lanka. Finally, Hanuman brought out the Chudamani given to him by Sita and handed it over to a teary-eyed Rama. Memories of his beloved came flooding back to him, and he couldn't be the sober, controlled leader anymore. He broke down and cried piteously. The entire monkey army assembled around the Lord also wept seeing the plight of the person they loved so dearly. To lighten the mood, Hanuman narrated the episode of Kakasur that Mother Sita had shared with him. Seeing Sita's Chudamani and hearing the story of Kakasur, Lord Rama knew beyond doubt that Hanuman had indeed met Sita. He got up and expressed his gratitude to Hanuman for having taken the trouble to find Sita. He told him that not just he, but the entire Raghu dynasty was grateful for his heroic act. Lord Rama continues speaking gracefully. O Hanuman, presently I do not have anything valuable to offer you in appreciation of your tremendous service. For all that you have done for me, the only thing I have to offer is my loving embrace. Please accept it as my all. Lord Rama pulled Hanuman close to his heart and embraced him lovingly. In the embrace, Lord Hanuman literally melted. He closed his eyes and savored every moment of that embrace. He wanted the memory of this embrace to remain in his subconscious memory forever. He was thinking how fortunate he was to receive this embrace that great sages hankered after, performing severe penances for thousands of years. Hanuman thought there was nothing more valuable than this that Lord Rama could have ever offered him. With that embrace, Hanuman got the inspiration to dedicate his life at Lord Rama's service and a desire to please him in every possible way. He decided that his life's aspiration would be to receive another embrace from Lord Rama. And he knew exactly how that could happen. Language is a medium of connecting hearts and not communicating words.
So one thing I was thinking also that it is Lord Ram only who is empowered Hanuman, right? I mean, we know without Ram's empowerment, but he's still praising Hanuman. Oh, how intelligent you are! How, but who is giving the intelligence to Hanuman? It is Ram only who is giving intelligence. Right? So even though the Lord is only giving everything, still he praises his devotees. Right? That is the amazing part. Like if I give you $1 million or not million, I don't have million, but let's say if I give you some money and you go and buy me some gift, right? Then I would feel like, well, you bought the gift with the money that I only gave you, right? Or I tell you to do something, right? And you go. But if I praise you, we don't generally praise, right? If we tell a servant, go and buy, this is the money, go and buy this grocery from the market, right? So the ability to walk, to go to the grocery, to the money, everything I have given. Like, so let's say, I mean, in this case, money only I have given, but for Ram, everything is given by Ram. So, but still he praises his devotees. That's amazing. Oh Hanuman, how intelligent you are, and how
Yeah.
this thing. So he encourages his devotees in that way.
He wants to give
Yeah,
fame to his
I
devotees.
think, yeah, that. But I mean, you're right. He's praising him for the intelligence, but I think the choice is up to the
Yeah.
person, right? Even
So free will.
even for us. So using that intelligence for the right. So I think that the appreciation is not the fact that the intelligent was used, but the fact that it was used for the right reason. Maybe that is what makes
Yeah, that everybody,
the
like
heart
we
happy.
praise Srila Prabhupada, right? We praise Srila Prabhupada did so many things. I mean, who empowered Srila Prabhupada? Krishna empowered Srila Prabhupada. That's why he was able to do. But we praise Srila Prabhupada because he used his free will
Mm-hmm.
to surrender to the Lord. So that is where the jiva's real glory comes, right? That he surrenders to the Lord and the Lord uses him as an instrument. Because you
Yeah.
have the choice. You have the choice of not surrendering to the Lord. Every jiva has that
Mm.
choice to surrender to the Lord or not surrender to every moment, right? So we glorify.
And Krishna empowers only those jivas who are surrendered to him.
Right.
Prabhupada prayed, make me a puppet in your hands. You make me dance as you like. Nimitta matra bhave save sachin. Why Krishna is using Arjuna as an instrument? Because Arjuna is a surrendered devotee. He's non-envious of Krishna. He's a devotee. He's a friend, right? So there are qualities in that jiva where that's why Krishna empowers that jiva. But that jiva himself, he's thinking, I'm nothing. See, other people will glorify that jiva, but the jiva itself should think that I am nothing. I'm totally empowered by Krishna. Right? For himself, he should feel that I am not. I'm very insignificant. I have done nothing.
But like you are chanting Hare Krishna, right? So you are chanting Hare Krishna because you are using your free will to chant Hare Krishna. And you also know that, right? I mean, you had the free will not to chant Hare Krishna. So I'm just saying,
And we don't even see where that taste is coming from or where that conviction is coming from that I should get up and chant. I would think that that is Krishna's mercy, nothing that has come from
yeah.
me. Because one day I may just feel like I don't feel like chanting, and then I will not feel taste and just give up, right? So
But for us,
in
you are
the in
using your
the
free will to chant Hare Krishna, right?
no, but in the mood of humility, we should think everything is coming from the mercy of Krishna. I should
Yeah.
utilize His mercy.
Yeah. But you are accessing the mercy
Yep.
of Krishna. You are accessing.
Yeah.
Everything is Krishna. I mean, so many people are not surrendered, right, to Krishna, right? Everybody is not surrendered to Krishna, but you are surrendered to Krishna. So why somebody is surrendered, or you or anybody, all the devotees, all of you. So you are surrendered to Krishna because you have used your free will. Otherwise, where is the question, right? Otherwise, everything is on autopilot, right? It's just happening automatically. Then why is Krishna? Why is there is instruction of Shastra also? Why is Krishna telling you should bow down to me? You should. That means there is a choice with the jiva to not bow down, and that
Mhm.
makes the jiva glorious, right? Otherwise, Krishna would not tell you surrender to me. If everybody is surrendering to Krishna the way he wants, of course, everybody is surrendered to Krishna or Maya, but so there is and at the end of the Bhagavad Gita also he says, yeah, now you do as you like. And then we glorify Arjuna because Arjuna, if had Arjuna not taken the decision to surrender to Krishna, we would not have, if you he would have said at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna would have said, no, but I'm still feeling compassionate, I cannot fight, Krishna, you explained me everything, but still, of course, Krishna was ready to explain again, but again, if Arjuna came to the same thing that he had done, but somehow he got convinced. Now, why he got convinced? Did Krishna force him to get convinced? Yeah, and
Yeah. Throughout Mahabharata, we see so many people had choices, but not everybody made the right choice. So if it was just God's if we were just puppet in God's hands, everybody would have made the right choice.
Like in this
No,
material
but
world
the
also, like
surrendered devotee wants to become a puppet.
Yeah. Once you are surrendered,
Yeah,
then
that's
it's a different story.
yes,
But I
yes.
think originally it is a choice. After that, yes, you succumb to the fact that yes, it's not in my hands, and
and
but that
surrender is also not a one-time thing. It's a moment to moment, right? I mean,
Mhm.
like I cannot say I'm surrendered, but next moment I can be not surrendered. I may do completely something opposite to devotional service. So at every moment there is a choice, right? And another thing I was thinking about humility means when you feel you're helpless, then you can be humble. Normally we can do so many things. Like now, I'm going to drive my car. I don't feel that I'm helpless in driving my car. No, I have the ability to drive my car. I can go, start my car, and I can think. So those things we don't think, right? But if I have to do something uh, like,
Yeah, but if we have a
but
fracture in
actually we
our
should think in
leg,
every activity we are helpless.
yeah, but if we have a fracture in our leg or we have
Yeah, I
like
can't.
Alzheimer's, then somebody cannot drive the car. That basic thing that everybody is able to do, that person is not able to do. Means it's not in his hands. It's not in our hands.
Yeah,
With
so
that ability is coming from Krishna.
yes,
I
but
think
we have
I
been
was
given this false ego because of that. I mean, we think that I can do, yeah, I can do this thing easily because, and we have some talent, right? Everybody has some talent. You can say, oh, I can solve first. Now, if somebody gives me first grade mathematics, some questions, I can easily answer them. I can say. At that time, we are not thinking, oh, that okay, I can do this. Even it's very easy, I can do it. But we automatically say, no, I'm very confident I can do this. But generally, we don't think that even if I had Alzheimer's or something, I can't even answer first grade questions, even if it is I'm
Mm.
PhD. So for everything, right? I mean, moving our hand, everything. But the only thing is that
Yeah.
we may become dysfunctional because then we are always thinking, okay, now I'm moving, so now I'm not able to concentrate on on something because I'm thinking God is helping me, God is helping me. Now I have to make a turn here. God is helping me make this turn, right
Yeah,
turn or
that's
left turn.
that may be laziness also. That may come. Laziness may come only when God wants me to do. I mean, studying for the exam, God should give me intelligence. Yeah, so then there comes an endeavor and Krishna's mercy.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that like if you're
yeah.
doing something simple, but if you think, oh, God is helping me do this, God is helping me do this, then it is true, right? Even simple things like walking, or even when you do like everything, seeing and everything, right? You are able to see and you're able to remember something. Everything is coming from God. So ideally, we should be always thinking of God, right? I'm able to do anything,
Yeah.
even simple things. I'm able to do because of God. But generally, when we do simple things, we are not thinking that I'm doing it because God has given me the ability to do that simple thing. I think it's my own ability that I'm able to do because already
Mhm.
yeah,
And everything that we are given, we take for granted. If we turn on a shower, water will come. Oh, that's a gift from Krishna. You are having water. There are places in the world that don't have water. Like every bit of it, remembering, oh, thank you, Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness, being grateful to Krishna at every
now
moment for
somebody may
things that
well say, well, I've been put this situation because of my karma only. Because another theory is that we get into different situations because of our karma. So I'm in a country where I open the tap and I get water. It's like because of my karma that I have done,
Mm.
right, in my past life. So I'm
Kalakanta Prabhu was saying, you are not entitled for anything. There are millions of lives that I have had so many bad karma that I performed. I was not qualified to even get this. So,
but
yeah,
actual
that is.
fact is that everybody gets according to their karma, right? Because otherwise God would not be fair if he gives somebody. So the fact is
But I.
that we say
Mm.
tatenu kampam susamishana. It is my own
Yeah,
karma.
but I, even
But
yeah, but I
karma is enforced by Krishna. have done something in that past life. So if I'm getting good thing, of course, Prabhupada says that if I am getting good thing, I should think that I don't deserve it, but Krishna is so kind that he's giving me. That's a devotee, of course. But generally, for any person, good or bad, I mean, everything is bad in this material world in one sense, but the good or bad is happening because of the past karma of that living entity. And that is what he has done, right? Krishna did not inspire him to do bad karma, or maybe he's done because he had some free will, and then that's okay.
Yeah, but I think the bottom line, I think even Radhika Mataji is saying is that everything that we are given, everything is finite. I mean, like the city could have hot water, but my water heater can stop working. So you may have uh, some basic comforts, or you may have comforts because of your karma, but even that will be finite. And the fact that um, you know God at that moment is giving us the ability to have that hot water, or even know that, okay, not get upset when it stops, because and think wisely, is based on the fact that we are aware that it's all God's doing. I
And
mean,
in the
even now
hot,
with
the
all
heater is
the TSAs
working.
that
Yeah,
are,
the heater is working because the laws are working, right? That's why. Then who
yeah,
designed the laws? Okay, Krishna
ex-
designed the laws. So even if you have a working heater, right? I mean, why there are laws of thermodynamics or whatever is heating that thing is also designed by
I mean,
it's
yeah, you can just keep drilling
drilling.
down to
Yes.
everything is God's. But even right now with what's happening with the airports and the TSA, God has a way of bringing us to our knees with humility, no matter how we think we are in a bubble where we have all the comforts. uh, he has a way of reminding us that nothing is on our control.
But the mess that is created by God or created by human beings.
Well, it is created by a God to teach us. We are in that position at that
But
moment
human beings
because
have created the mess, right? By their own desires, they've created this mess on this. This war is happening. Of course, you can say in one sense nothing happens without the sanction of the Lord.
nothing happens without. I
Yeah,
mean,
but the
everything is
thing is,
given.
we are responsible for our own. Like all these people, they're fighting Zelensky and Putin, and so they have got their responsibility. They are declaring the war, and of course, Krishna is sanctioning it. But yeah,
Yeah, but
anyway.
again, it's choices, right? Everybody, we cannot control other people's choices. Uh, it's all because not everybody has Krishna conscious choices.
Yeah. So everybody is responsible for their own life
Yeah.
in that sense. Yeah. It is like we have the choice whether to surrender or not surrender. So
Yeah.
humility, I think, only happens when you feel you're helpless. When you feel that you can be humble when you are helpless. When you feel I'm helpless. But when you feel that I can do things on my own, and everything I can do, then there's no feeling of humility. Another thing of humility is like, okay, I have earned so much money, but who gave me the intelligence? Krishna gave me the intelligence. So I should use my money to serve Krishna. That is humility also. Because if we think I have whatever assets I have is because of Krishna. But if I use money for my sense enjoyment and I behave humbly, right, very humble, like him, so that when humility means you are free from desires for your, because everything came from Krishna. So I have to use it back in his service. But if I use my money or anything that I have for then I'm disconnecting from Krishna. Of course, Krishna allows because Krishna knows that we have desires for our own enjoyment. So we are using our money for so many things. But if we know that this money came due to Krishna,
Yeah,
then
I think Keshavji had a lecture one time where even like yesterday, I was at work and for the life of me, I could not remember my colleague's name, who I know very well. And I could not remember. I had to walk to the person's desk and look at the card, and I said, "Oh, that's his name." And at that moment, all I could think was, Krishna is reminding me that, this remembrance is not up to me. So I think everything that happens, we just makes us humble. That uh, it's beyond our control, and we have to appreciate what we have.
Yeah, so I think the whole discussion was about free will of the jiva. So we praise Srila Prabhupada because, yeah, Krishna empowered him, but it was the free will of Srila Prabhupada that he surrendered to Krishna.
Yeah.
So that's why we praise him. But of course, from Prabhupada's point of view, he may not think like that I'm surrendered to Krishna. Of course, that is the quality of a devotee, that he doesn't feel that he has surrendered. But the actual fact is that he has used his free will, like you all chanting Hare Krishna, right, in the morning. So actual fact is that you have free will and you have used your free will to chant Hare Krishna, where you can be doing so many other things and like that. You're on the call, right?
Yeah.
So that is the actual fact. But of course, the person may not think like that. As I think Radhika was saying, that because it may make us feel proud. But the actual fact is that you could do so many other things, but you chose to do this. So,
Yeah, I think there's when we are talking about ourselves, like even at work, when you're talking about the work that you do, yeah, we cannot keep saying to our leaders that, oh, God made me, God gave me the ability, God gave me the ability. We at that moment, yes, we have to, but in our mind, we know that it wasn't truly our ability, it was the ability that was given by. That's the way I think, I feel. uh,
all bad
in,
things you do are your own things. So, and
Mhm.
all good things are Krishna's things. That's what Prabhupada says for a devotee.
Yeah,
All bad
yeah.
things you may do is because of your own volition, and all good things are happening. That is Krishna's mercy. So, like that. And one can also be proud that he's humble. You know, there is a pride. Sometimes you can be, oh, I'm so humble, and
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Which who has written this book, The Chronicles of Hanuman? Is it Shubhalas Prabhuji or someone else?
Yes, it's Shrivilas Prabhu. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. I was going to get the book. I don't have that book. So yeah, it's available on Kindle.
One thing that Marinder Prabhu was saying about this found Sita I, he was saying our whole generation is centered around I. iPhone, iPad, iWatch. If you put a small I on the Word document, the autocorrect changes it to capital I. Saying, no, you must be taller than all other letters. There is no place for humility in this Kali Yuga. So through this pastime, Hanuman is showing us his humility, keeping my appreciation, my desire, my thinking, my problems at the very back, and keep Krishna's service, Krishna's pleasure, Krishna's glories, and the devotees' pleasure at the forefront.
Yeah. With every action, your mind, body, and words is all for pleasure of Krishna. Right? What is that? Iha yasya. If you do that, iha yasya haridasya.
Karmana manasa gira nikhlashvape vastasu jivan mukta sochate. Also, there is Narayan, that verse. This is for the pleasure of Narayan. What is that verse? Kayena vacha manasendriya बुद्धि आत्मना वनुस्त्र स्वभावत करोति यद्यत सकलम परस्मै नारायण इति समर्पयतत. Whatever I do with my body, with my mind, with my words, senses, intelligence, all should be offered to Krishna, saying this is for the pleasure of Krishna. Very hard to do, very
Can
easy
we
to
say, I'm
speak.
eating pizza? This is offered to Krishna. This is for the pleasure of Krishna. I'm eating pizza, or I'm enjoying something, right? then is for the pleasure. We can't say like that, right? Can we say that or not?
Eating pizza for the pleasure of Krishna.
Yeah, I'm eating pizza or I'm eating this or I'm doing this. It is for the
We
pleasure.
know ourselves, whether it's for the pleasure of ourselves or Krishna. I mean, we dovetail things, but ultimately, dovetailing means it's not a very purified state. We are trying to be purified, but the process will make us purified. Means we offer it to Krishna, and then we eat. Ultimately, we will lose our desires to eat pizza. One time you can say, I will eat whatever it is needed to maintain my body. That should be the state that we should reach, but we cannot immediately reach that state. So in the middle stage we can offer it to Krishna and eat prasadam.
So we can dovetail, you're saying dovetail our desires for enjoyment,
Nah,
right?
yes, dovetail, but that should not be the ultimate, right? Ultimately we have to get rid of all our
Yeah.
desire, material desire.
That what you said about the iPhone and the iPad, I was looking it up, and the letter I is interestingly in small, and then the P is cap, which maybe Steve Jobs was trying to remind us that I should not be that big. But yeah, um, we I is always the ego, reminding us about the ego.
Also, I was thinking real humility can be practiced only when you're free from gross and subtle desires for sense gratification. That is when you can practice real humility. Because as long as you are thinking it is for I, either in terms of subtle, okay, my fame, my glory, and then it is not Krishna. So real humility is only when you become pure devotee, when you're free from anya bilashita shunyam. That's only when you are can be called really humble person. Of course, there are shades of humility. So like it's not like 0 or 1, but to the degree you are pure in your heart that I only want to please, I have nothing for me, everything for Krishna. That to that degree you are humble. But otherwise, sometimes people think humility means like folding your hands and like talking very softly, and that may be, but the real thing is like in your actions, how much you are doing everything for the pleasure of Krishna and not caring for your own pleasure. Right? That is really the because one quote there was Mahatma Prabhu's quote that you can appear to be humble, but actually you are not, right? Because people can say, "Oh, you are very humble and very nice," and in that also you get appreciation, right? Okay, I'm very humble devotee, and I'm enjoying that, but I have all desires for enjoyment in this world. So that is also it's a very deep thing, but humility. So okay. I mean, Arjuna was humble. He picked up his Gandiv, right? Uh, we may think he was humble before when he put aside his Gandiv and he said, "Oh, Krishna, I don't want to fight." But actually, he was humble when he picked up his Gandiv and he said, "Krishna, yes, I will do your will." So it's for you, Krishna, not for me. So not my consideration, but it's for your pleasure, right? Because generally we think, okay, not retaliating and just putting Gandhi and going to the forest, that would be humility for Arjun. But actually, he was humble when he actually surrendered to Krishna, and he says, "Your will be done." So okay. So anything else? It's 8:55. I was just thinking about humility in different ways.
Yeah, I think one last thing. I was listening to Keshav Swami's lecture on the flow, and he was I don't know if others have heard it, but he was talking in relation to chapter 18, verse 78. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno Yatra Partho Dhanurthara. So he was saying that only when Arjuna and Arjuna and Krishna are in the same chariot together is when you have victory and righteousness and prosperity. So it's only when God is there with you, that's when flow happens. Otherwise, you are not in the flow. Arjuna and Krishna have to be together. You know, like the Arjuna in you and Krishna have to be together to be successful. So there is no I did this, I did that.
At the same time, I was thinking, we have our identity. It is not like that I annihilate my identity, because then it will become impersonal. There is no I. But Krishna says, no, there was never a time when you did not exist, when I did not exist. So we have our identity and we have our loving relationship with Krishna. So, because if you annihilate the I, that is what the Sayujya Mukti is all about, right? You merge into the impersonal effulgence. There is no I, right? There is no I because, of course, that is the last layer of Maya where you think you are God. You merge into the effulgence. But at every time, there was never a time when you as a person did not exist. So that individuality that we have of being is always there, even in the spiritual world. So,
I was reading Kapila's, Lord Kapila's in chapter Canto 3 just today itself, and yeah, it did say, I think in the purport, one of the verses, it said in the purport that yes, you both, you don't lose your individual identity. Yeah.
yeah, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that two verses, which are the two words? Navid natvevaham jatu nasam.
Natva nime janadipana cheva nama vishmel sarvivayam
And mamevam
na
shuchi.
jayate mriyate va.
Yeah, that also, na jayate mriyate. And mamevam shuchi valoke jiva bhuta sanatana. Manashashtani indriyani prakriti sthani karshati. So sanatana, you are always my part. Sanatana means we have our own individual existence. And yeah, everybody has their own individual existence. So that I is there, but the false conception of I is that's the wrong thing. Otherwise I is there, but the so the real I is I'm part and parcel of Krishna. So I'm subordinate to Krishna. I'm servant of God. But the other I is that I'm this body and I'm the enjoyer. I'm the controller. So it's the misidentified I. Otherwise, I is always there. But the misidentified I is bad. Okay, it's 8:59. We'll stop here. Thank you everyone for joining. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.